The three main threat vectors that our customers are talking about are ransomware, insider threat, and third-party risk or supply chain risk. In respect of ransomware, we've seen a significant increase in the threat landscape and the threat environment that organizations face today. And we've seen various levels of preparedness as it relates to defenses in respect of ransomware. In fact, in Adama's recent ransomware readiness report, we found that 58% of UK businesses over 2,000 employees had experienced a ransomware attack. It's top of mind with a number of our organizations. How do they prepare for it? How do they detect it? And then how do they respond to it once it's happened? Insider threat is a big one for our organizations. Insiders have access to privileged systems. They are often privileged administrators. They have access to data and confidential data. How do you make sure that you have the requisite controls over privileged users and insider activity such that you can detect malicious or nefarious activity quickly and that you can shut it down and respond to it at scale if it were to hit the organization? Third-party risk or supply chain risk is a big issue for our customers right now. So how do you think about the extended supply chain? How do you think about security controls and a baseline of security where those organizations might have access to your environment, might have access to your materials? How do you then provide assurance over the extended supply chain so that effectively you see it as your risk and you manage that risk appropriately?
The role of threat intelligence for the board is critical, like any intelligence is. It allows them to make decisions about investment, about changes they're going to make. It's really important though that it's lifted up to a strategic level that's relevant to them and understandable by them. Generally, however, I'm now seeing IT become closer to the board, and that's really key because organizations now run on digital platforms. Making decisions about risks and threats to those digital platforms at the board level is absolutely key, and that's where threat intelligence fits in.
Organizations should take a holistic view of their expanding attack surfaces. Should think about the controls that are in place, whether those controls are operating effectively, and as the attack surface expands, making sure that you've got the right view of the controls at the right time and they're being constantly validated to know that they're operating effectively. Once you've done that, you can start to look at building a detection and response capability that takes over when preventative controls fail and effectively gives you the assurance that you can detect and respond at scale should an incident occur.